Hello, Carver and Cuthbert here with you. Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island on a Monday. That's right. Once again this week, holiday week, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We switched things up for Monday and Tuesday this week, just like last week. Next week, back to normal, Wednesdays and Thursdays as we head into 2026. Amazingly, here on the program and in life. Beautiful day. Beautiful, wet, rainy Long Beach Monday. The final half week of 2025. Mike Carver here along with Paul Cuthbert. Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Good afternoon, Michael. Good to see you. Crazy, 2026.
It's here.
A few hours away, baby.
Yeah,
Couple of days.
Getting very close. It's for us kicking off the new year, and we've got plenty to discuss today. We've got a lot of NFL from the weekend to talk about. We do have a game tonight. Final Monday night game with the Rams and the Falcons. There's a little bit of juice, not much, but a little bit of juice. There's some importance there for the Rams tonight. We have plenty of football. We got a lot of hockey to do as the Islanders shut out the Rangers again.
Oh, come on, man.
On Saturday.
Gotta bring that up.
And then couldn't get it done in the back-to-back in Columbus last night. Rangers are in Carolina tonight, which is, aside from that win they got in early November, been a house of horrors for them over the past few years. But we'll see if they can make it 2 in a row against the Canes in Raleigh. We got some hoops to do, bowl games, very, very busy here today, as it should be. I like that it's busy. I like that there's a lot going on.
It's crazy.
A lot of things I'm upset about.
Good times.
There's a lot of things to do. So why don't we start with the Tankathon Bowl? I think that's a good place to begin today, as the Giants beat the Raiders in Vegas on Sunday. Of course, the loser of this game was going to be in the driver's seat for the first overall pick in the draft. This was discussed at length last week by us and many others of what do? Do you win the game and Dart gets a win, or do you throw the game, make sure you get that first overall pick? It's impossible to actually throw games, but the Raiders tried as hard as you possibly could by taking Bowers out of the lineup, taking Crosby out of the lineup, taking all their best players out of the lineup. And at the end of the day, that was just too much for the Giants to overcome in trying to lose the game. The Raiders just brought a real Z squad out there. And Dart looked good. I know that I've heard a lot of Giant fans last night and this morning that are very upset about this. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, Paulie. It's a win. A win's a win. Now you're in the 2 spot.
I liked it. Like what I saw. Go out and win. Look, we got our quarterback. We had a great draft last year. We got a good squad. We got a good nucleus. You know, it is what it is. And like I said, the team that the Raiders rolled out. I mean, I'm surprised Carroll wasn't quarterback.
It was hard to out tank what they brought. Yeah. Like they really came with a skeleton crew in that game, and there was just no way. Although we'll talk about this either later on or tomorrow. You know, they still have to finish the job and lose one more but they're playing the Chiefs, who also look so bad that maybe the skeleton of the Chiefs, and Andy Reid might say, well, you want somebody tank a game, you watch us. We don't want our division rival getting the number 1 overall pick.
They get competition with the Jets too.
That should be a fun. Well, yeah, we'll get there in a moment. But either way, Paulie, Giants now will need the Raiders to lose this week and them lose a game if they're going to get this coveted first overall pick.
The Giants are right where they want to be.
They're right where they want to be.
This is being scripted out just magically.
I did like that they actually let Dart kind of go. Maybe it was just because the other team was so bad, but they let Dart go back to being kind of a bit of himself in that game. A couple of rushing touchdowns. He was, but that's it. Look, I know you miss out on the first pick, and I explained to you last week I didn't think it was as important to the Giants because they have their quarterback. I get the whole getting a lot of assets and trading it. I understand it all, but I also didn't think it would be great to see your franchise quarterback lose like 12 straight games going into the offseason. I think it's good that he had a win. And I'm on the again, it's easier for me to say this because I'm not a Giant fan. I would probably feel a lot differently if I was a Giant fan, and I'd probably be more upset about it. But I think it's good to see Dart win a game.
Well, you got the two sides of the argument, right? You've got the upset Giant fans,
right?
Upset about, the draft, the pick, and everything else. And then on the positive side of things, like I said, you got a really good nucleus of young guys, Neighbors, Carter, Scatterville, Dart. and your quarterback here that you got him in the draft last year, now has a full season of reps. He's got NFL experience now.
Right.
He's experienced losing like he's never felt before.
I've experienced plenty of that this
which
year.
will, I'm sure, reinforce his drive for next season. And like I said, the Giants do the right thing and get a good overhaul here as far as the coaching vacancies and coordinators and everything else. And who knows, maybe even a GM.
Well, that's actually
I
where
think I've got something great to build on here.
Go next, because that's been the story this morning. Is the reports that, and it's almost so much reports. I know that Jordan Renan was on ESPN radio this morning and saying, I think the question that was asked to him was, gun to your head, do you think Joe Shane's going to be the GM after this year? And he's still going to be making these decisions going into a contract year and basically winning like 4 games over the last 2 years. I mean, just been awful. And he thought, yes, that Shane would still be the GM. And I think that that's now kind of the discussion is who's really going to be making these decisions for the Giants now that this season is wrapping up and you get through this last game against Dallas on Sunday. And then because it's such an important off season, it's so huge because you need a new coach. You need to build pieces around your franchise quarterback. And is Joe Shane done enough over the last few years that he deserves to make all those decisions? Because if it doesn't go well, you're going to waste another year. And you might even waste it with whoever you hire as coach, because what if you get a new czar of the football next year and they don't like the coach that he hired? And then, that guy could be out, or maybe that guy's not good at developing Dart and then he's going to be, there's a lot of problems where I think you have to wipe the slate clean when you're doing something like this. You've already, decided you're making a coaching change. You made that decision months ago in the middle of the season. And there's obviously this prevailing thought that the reason why the Giants might keep Joe Shane is because of obviously John Mara's health and other things around the hierarchy of the organization, that they don't want to make drastic changes like that. But you might have to do it anyway. So I think you just pull the Band-Aid and you do it now and you find somebody to run it now.
Yeah, I mean, when that last second ticks off of that last Giant game, it's like watch.
Well, the decision needs to be made like then.
Yeah,
like
well,
it needs to be done now.
It's going to be something to sit back for Giants fans here to see exactly how quick everything either moves or does not move.
Right. Because who's really hiring the next coach? Is it him or is it the ownership group? Which, again, John Mara is going through a lot right now. He's sick. There's a lot of things happening with him.
So following day after end of games for the Giants, maybe the hatchet comes down, or maybe
if I were them, I would chop him. I would get rid of Joe Shane. I think you need to, because you're going to have so many things that are important that I think that needs to be in lockstep together, which is, let's say, whether it's the first pick or the second pick overall in the draft, it's an important pick that is going to have value, whether you're trading it or picking it. It's going to have a lot of value, and you need to know who's making that decision, who's going to be the head coach that goes with that decision, where are you starting to build around Jackson Dart, there's so many things that the moment that game ends against Dallas, like you said, the clock starts ticking on it, and it needs to start being put into motion because things move fast.
Yeah, well, and these guys,
there's a lot of jobs that are going to be open, and there's going to be a lot of competition for all those. There's not a lot of great coaches out there.
But I think as far as the Giants fan base, as far as the business side, as far as season tickets, everything else, as far as appeasing the fan base, this is a tough decision here too or maybe it's not a tough decision.
I don't think it's tough for the fans. I know.
No, I know. But I'm saying, like, if they keep showing and things don't change, that bad taste in the Giants fans' mouth is going to be there.
Yeah.
And, they've got to kind of, like you said, I'm with you. Clean the slate, get a whole new vibe for next season.
Right.
With Scatterboo coming back, with Neighbors coming back, with Dart, your quarterback, and then possibly still some good draft pickups coming up. There's a lot of things that would be attractive to a new general manager or to somebody to come and run this team. And the fan base to get excited for still, even beyond this.
The fan
season.
base will be very, very upset if Joe Shane's going to still be the GM. They're going to be very upset. if he's continues on. I mean,
Certainly is the vibe.
He's done a look at it. At the end of the day, the business is winning. That's it. That's what you're judged on. And I don't like when guys only get a year or two. This is now more than that. You know, he's had enough. When you get to 4 or 5 years, you've had the time to put a winner together. And if you haven't at this point, it's time to give someone else a chance
on record.
to do it.
His previous drafts up until last year were pretty awful.
Well, look, he's got some misses in there. There's no question about it. Now you could say that there's some hits too. And look, I think it's hard. I always say you can't screw up top 10 picks. And I mean, they can be screwed up. I'm saying as a general manager and as a team, when you get those premium top 10 picks, you got to hit on them. It's so important to your franchise because you don't want to be picking there. That's not where you want to be. You don't want to be picking in the top 10. And unfortunately for him and the Giants, they've been picking in the top 10 every single year. And for the amount of years they've been picking in the top 10, I don't believe that they've acquired enough premium talent. Now, Evan Neal was probably the worst of all the first-round picks that he was a complete stiff. You know, Thomas never plays. Neighbors is really good, but he's also now had injuries the first couple of seasons. You know, I mean, Carter looks like he could be good, but it also looks like has some growing up to do. So there's a lot of things. It's been a mixed bag, kind of. And I think you need to it's got to be somebody else's move. That's what it has to be for me. It's time. Like the when does the losing stop? Like you got to find two guys that are gonna turn the corner and start going in the other direction.
The pain is almost over.
I don't know if it's almost over.
Almost over for this season, maybe.
Well, for this season, it's almost over. You've only got it. I mean, this is it because it's all like you said. Everyone's back to 0-0 when you get eliminated and your season ends. For the teams that are not in the playoffs, you're on to the 2026 season. And it starts right there. So you got to make those decisions fairly quickly because if it's going to be him, you know, he's going to be the one sitting down with the Marcus Freemans and all these other guys that are potentially going to be going in for this job.
Aaron Glenn might be available.
Now,
too.
I was just going to say that to you as well because the Jets played on Sunday. I guess you could say they played. I said it to you last week, and nothing that they did yesterday changed my thought on it. You look around the league at other guys who are in their first year, and you can make the case that you've seen, even though the teams are bad, you've seen some heart, you've seen some life, you've seen some things that make you go, you know what? I think Kellen Moore is going to be a good coach. The Saints have played really well down the stretch, and he's done something with Tyler Shuck, and he's done there's room for optimism there. You know, you have other first-year coaches who are going to be in the playoffs, like Johnson with the Bears, and you're going to have and Glenn has done such an awful job. And whether you want to blame him or not, or say, listen, is it Aaron Glenn's fault that, you know, Justin Fields stunk and they put a lot of chips on the table with Justin Fields? You know, maybe that's not particularly his fault. He's a defensive guy who, if you're going to hire a defensive head coach, you better have the offense in a better place than the Jet offense has been because he's not offensive minded to fix those things.
Maybe some guys are just better suited being coordinators, you know?
I think that it's gotten so bad, I don't see how you can bring them back because they're just, it's lifeless. Like, I mean, what were they down? 35-3 at the half yesterday or something like that? Like, it was pathetic. And I know they were playing one of the best teams in the AFC this year. I get all that, but you're at home and you get embarrassed like that. It's like no heart, no fight. That Cook stinks. That guy, that Cook that they're playing.
Well, also on sticking on the Glenn side here. I mean, just his, his presence.
Well, that's what
his relationship with the media.
That's what put it.
He's not really. I don't think the fans are really, getting his vibe.
And I said this to you months ago, and I said it even before this all happened in the summer, and even when he was hired last year. If you're going to do the tough guy act and you're going to be I'm going to talk how I want to talk to the media and I'm going to say how I'm going to say, then you have to win games.
Yeah.
Because you haven't done it before and you're talking like you have. And that's going to rub the fan base, particularly, in the wrong way. Like, who does listen? I like the toughness, but can he win some games first? And he didn't. And they looked worse it's gotten every week. It's been worse. I don't see him being a tough guy up at the podium this week. Like, it's just, I mean, this is a really bad end to another really bad year for them. I don't think you can bring him back.
There's not a lot of hope for Jet fans. You know, the Giants, there's potential there. There's talent there. There's a core group there that maybe just needs the right guy to manage it. But on the other side here, I don't think there's a lot of attractive stuff.
And it starts with quarterback because they don't have one. And they're not going to be, they're going to need to trade into one of these slots if they, and I don't know how much they like. Obviously, everybody likes Fernando Mendoza. And if the Raiders have the first pick, I'm sure they're going to take Fernando Mendoza. I can't imagine Dante Moore. I mean, you're just taking Dante Moore with the second overall pick. I just,
let me ask you something here.
Yeah. It's a bad year to have a top pick for a quarterback. It just is.
Well, is it yeah. Well, I guess what I want to get in here, you remember, let's just on the hockey side of things.
Yeah.
When Lindros,
sure.
He didn't want to go to Quebec.
Yeah.
In football, what about these top draft picks that come out here?
Well, these guys don't have the gas to be able to do that.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Look, we haven't seen that.
You're looking at
there's really
Vegas
only twice we've seen that in the NFL draft.
Okay.
Once Elway in the early 80s, he refused to go to Indianapolis.
So
and that was, and he, forced his way into Denver and eventually. And then it happened with Eli. Eli refused to go to the Chargers, and the Giants in San Diego brokered that deal where the Giants took Rivers fourth and they swapped. So that's really the only two times that it's happened. And think about who it's John Elway and Eli Manning. These guys, it doesn't really happen anymore. And these guys definitely don't have the gas to do it. Like, they're not good enough to be to be making demands like that. Like, honestly, if Dante Moore gets picked second, he shouldn't care who picks him second. Mm-hmm. That's just that way. Same thing with Fernando Mendoza.
Well, I was really thinking about him more than anything, Mendoza.
I don't think the Raiders is as bad as they've been. I don't believe the Raiders are the most unattractive place for a quarterback to go. I mean, when you think about it, yeah. Look, I don't know what's going to happen with Carroll. That could be a one and done situation as well. But there's a guy, but there is a guy who is a part owner of that franchise, who is the greatest quarterback of all time, and having him in your corner and to be able, and because how he is, he's a football junkie. I don't think he honestly should be calling games on Fox, considering he's a small owner he's a part owner of the Raiders, but that's either here nor there. He's a guy that loves football and will probably be there for whoever that kid is and help them along the way. And that's a hell of a guy to have at your disposal. It ain't a bad place to live. I mean, there's a lot of attractiveness to going there, and maybe he'll be the guy that turns that franchise around. You're only a quarterback away.
Possibly, too, to be a part of building a winner there, too.
It's a beautiful stadium. The stadium's unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's a rising town, obviously, with it's just, and like I said, you guys, as much as Davis's son, Mark's a doofus, and how he's run the team, but he was a smart businessman taking him to Vegas. I'll tell you that. That was a smart move by him. The Brady factor there, I think, is enormous, especially for a young quarterback. If they ever get their hands on one, is having him in the house and be able to help whoever it is. It's huge. But getting back to the original point, Jets should fire Glenn. I don't see any reason for keeping him. I just don't. What's he done this year that makes you say, man, you know what? I think this guy could be a good head coach. What has he done?
You'd have to ask some diehard Jets fans.
I saw some Jet fans bring this up last night and this morning, and it's very true. If you don't fire him and you keep him and you do draft, somehow get up to the top and take one of these quarterbacks, who's developing them? Is it going to be, Aaron Glenn's not an offensive guy.
Yeah.
And then when they go 3-14 again next year, and the quarterback development is stagnated because there's just no great offensive mind there to help him. That's a year you wasted. You wasted a year of development. You know, you got to bring an offensive guy in to come be the head coach and usher in your quarterback that you took.
They don't have the greatest owner in the world either.
No, they don't. They've just never had the greatest owner, to be quite honest with you. It ain't easy, Paulie. It ain't easy.
Ain't easy being a Jets fan.
That's certainly not easy.
Hasn't been easy being a Giants fan either, but I got to tell you.
35-3 at the half.
Either the lesser of the two evils here is the Giants, I'd have to say.
Right now, they'd be picking second and third in the draft. Second and third. And I think they pick second and third the Barkley year. Was that Barkley Sanchez was that year too? No, Barkley Darnold was that year.
Okay.
I think that was the year Baker went 1. Barkley, Darnold, Giants picked 2-3 that year also in the draft. So you might get that again this year. So although I don't think the Giants will take a running back with the second overall pick.
Positive outlook if the Jets and Giants clean house.
Yeah.
You got a couple of good draft parties to look forward to then.
Well, you're going to get that. You're getting draft parties, that's for sure. That's the one thing you will have circled in late April.
A little extra hoo-ha in them.
You'll have a little bit of that coming your way.
We all need a little bit of hoo-ha.
Everybody needs a little bit of hoo-ha here with us. So the Jets and the Giants, another loss Sunday, and there's only one more of them left. Giants, Cowboys, Jets, Bills coming up on Sunday to finish off the season. And the Jets will play in the last game at the old Ralph Highmark Stadium as they will lose to the Bill backups at 4:25 on Sunday to close out historic Ralph Wilson Stadium / New Era Field / Highmark / Rich Stadium / the 600 names that old place has had over its history.
I'm sure there's a Marv Levy lounge in there somewhere. Too,
right?
I'm
sure there is.
Definitely the new building, right?
The Thurman Thomas Taps. They got everything in there. The Jim Kelly Club.
Kelly's Corner.
Kelly's Club. The 12 Club up there. So that's because they're not going to be winning the division after losing to the Eagles 13-12. Quite the game. Because there was only 2 games at 4:30 yesterday. It was the Tankathon with the Giants, and then there was the Eagle-Bill game. Well, lash and rain during the game, just lashing down, and it was really a tale of two halves. Tommy's an Eagle fan. I talked to him about it when I came in today. How the Eagles
being very respectful.
He is. He's being very, and that's okay. And I hope we play one more time in the second Sunday in February. That would be. I hope that we're playing again down the road in a few weeks. But it was an interesting game where the Eagles dominated the first half, especially, they were able to squeeze 13 points in, and then the Bills defense clamped down in the second half. And they had a few drives where they started to move the ball a little bit. They got stopped on a 4th and goal down at the 1, and they came back and were able to get a couple scores. But it was a blocked extra point on the first touchdown. Jalen Carter's a freak. That guy on the Eagles, he's a dirty player, but he's also a freak. And that made the game 13-6. So when the Bills scored in the final moments of the game, you had a decision to make. Unfortunately, Badgley missed got it blocked, or else it would have been maybe a chance to win it. But down 1, last play of the game, Bills go for 2 and the win. Don't go for the tie, go for the win. And Allen
would have been a chipper of a tie.
And Allen just missed Shakir in the back left to the end. It just let him a little too much. Shakir was open. He had broken from the guy. Just needed to be a little bit more on target with it. Allen knew it after. He knew it then, knew it after. He blew the throw. And look, even though you're the MVP, I guess you can't be 100% all the time, Paulie. And I think he was playing on 1 foot, to be quite honest with you, as well, in the game, which probably didn't help him step and throw properly either. I'm making excuses now as the Bill fan.
Let me ask you your thoughts on the call and not going for the.
Well, here's what I'll tell you.
The punt to tie it up.
This is one of the ultimate NFL, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't situations. I actually liked him going for 2. I did not have a problem with it. I would do it again. I understand it didn't work out and they lost the game. They just tie it and then they lose in overtime. You know what people would be saying? Why didn't you go for 2 at the end and win the game? You're always going to get second guessed, whatever the result is on it. Now, why go for 2 there is also another question, because the Bills at that point seemed on defense to have really figured out the Eagle offense. They did nothing in the second half. They didn't complete a pass. They didn't move on. I mean, they did nothing in the second half. They had them on their heels. Why not go to overtime and get another stop maybe and then go and win the game? Well, I think that's why they went for 2. They had them on their heels, and they had an opportunity to end the game right there. Do I think he thinks of it differently if it's a playoff spot on the line, Paulie? If that was the do or die of making the playoffs or not, do I think he kicks the extra point and goes to overtime? Yeah, I think he probably does. When it's not as dire for your situation, I think that played into it. And remember this too, the kicker sucks. That's their 5th kicker this year. And I know it was blocked and he didn't miss. That guy's missed like 4 or 5 extra points this year for other teams. He's only been on the Bills for a week because the Bills lost first. They lost Bass, they lost Prater, they lost all these. So they're on like their 5th kicker, and the guy's a hack. So what if he sends him out there and the guy misses the extra point? Why didn't you go for 2? You knew the kicker sucked. Why didn't you go for 2? There's always no matter which way you go, someone's going to fight the other side. For a guy that I always feel is super conservative and he never makes the right decision and he always is too tight to the vest, I actually liked seeing him. And it was immediate. Like even he had because he remember Knox scored, and they reviewed it and put the ball at the 1. Even when that first score, he held the 2 up. He had it in his mind. He was doing it and he stuck to it. And I don't have a problem with it. And
why not run the ball either, especially with Allen? Why just put like 4 or 5 guys in front of him? Just run.
I think that there's 2 reasons why.
Allen's mobility, the whole game, the whole season.
Because I don't believe they had Allen's mobility yesterday.
Okay.
They didn't have it. And you could tell that. There were times in that game, and the Eagle pass rush was great. They were after him. He was getting frustrated. He couldn't move the way he normally moves. There was a couple times he got out there, and there was the first touchdown was a push with him from the 1 or 2 yard line.
I guess the other side there too is you don't want to take a chance of him getting hurt because you're saying it's not a playoff game.
He's already pretty banged up on his foot and his ankle and all. He's messed up, and that's why, Paulie, believe it or not, big picture, this may help them in the long run. Believe it or not, I know that you want to win, and if they would have won, they still would have had a chance to win the division going into next week. But were the Patriots going to lose to Flipper? Are they going to lose to Dolphins this week? Probably not. Watch the Patriots yesterday. They look like they're pretty intent on finishing this out and winning the division.
With authority.
So you would have ended up playing next week, full go against the Jets in a game that at the end of the day probably wasn't going to improve you, whatever. And now you know it's not going to improve you because the Pats have won the division. So losing this game now allows them to not play Allen next week. For a guy who was walking around the way he was, him having a week off heading into the playoffs is huge. Now, will it determine who they play? Yes, it will. I mean, if they win, they'd be the 5. If they lose, they'll be the 7. Guess what, Paulie? They're going to have to play all these teams at one point or another anyway.
Yeah.
So whether you're playing New England in the first game or you're playing them in the second or third game, you're probably going to have to play them at some point. I'd rather play them with Allen getting a fresh week off and getting some rest and going in and being fully healthy, hopefully, into that first game. So however the chips fall with who they play, I don't think matters at this point. I think now having a week where you know Allen can get healthy is going to be more important to the Bills' January run than him making that 2-point conversion yesterday, still walking around with a gimpy foot and having to then go and have to play the Jets because they think they could still win the division and all of those things. I think in the long run, it could help him. Could be an advantage.
It's nice to this positivity is nice, Mike.
I actually, and I said to you last night that I got a lot of thoughts on it.
It's good stuff.
And I actually thought for once the guy showed a little stones. And I missed Captain Conservative for a very long time, Sean McDermott. And I liked that. He said, I've got the best quarterback in the world. Let's just go try and win it. In a game that it wasn't the Super Bowl. You know, like, it would have been like nice. You said, if it was a playoff game, I think he kicks it and you go to overtime.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there's scenarios where he absolutely kicked. And he's got a loser kicker. Why risk? Like, just put the ball in 17's hands. The guy was open. A rare bad throw. That's it. You lose.
Now
you rest.
Now, let me ask you your thoughts on the Eagles here as a team here going forward. and maybe some issues that they either have. What did they show you yesterday?
They showed me that their defense might be the best in the NFC. I think that is going to be the thing with the Eagles is I know their defense is going to be there when they start these playoff games, but their offense is clearly in a fog a little bit, and it has been kind of all year. And every time you think they're about to bust out, they take a little step back. Like, give the Bills credit, and I saw John bring it up. Great halftime adjustments for the Bills yesterday, but why can't they ever start on time? And that's very true, John. The Bills have now done this week after week. They look, and I wouldn't even call them bad in the first half defensively, to be quite honest with you. They gave up 13 points, which for them is kind of a win. It's kind of a win, but they have been very good at halftime adjustments in the last month in all of these games, and they were again against the Eagles. And I think it's a little bit of the Eagle offense is, I don't care how good the adjustments were for the Bills. You can't not complete a pass in the second half. Like that's pretty bad. That's hard to do. Yeah. That's real. And I know the conditions were bad, and I know all that, but that was a really ugly performance by their offense.
And in the past few weeks here, you can go back to the Eagles-Chargers game, with the turnovers, the confidence as far as Hurts and the Eagles offense in general, as far as their passing game is pretty weak.
It's weak. It's very weak.
Not a lot of confidence there.
Not a lot of confidence. And I think
time of the year to be going through this.
And I think that's the thing that is going to make or break them here in January. I think that their defense is good enough to beat anybody in the NFC. And that includes, we've seen this Niner team now. We're going to talk about them in a little bit, score tons of points. And we know the Rams can score points. Seattle's offense but Seattle's D has been more for them than their offense recently. We know the Bears can score points, and the Bears ran it down the Eagles' throat on Black Friday when they played back in Thanksgiving weekend. But their D is good enough to beat anybody that they come up against. Can they get more out of the offense? And that's because I don't think that they'd be able to play a game like the Niners and the Bears played last night. No. Like that, their offense isn't there to play that kind of a game. Yeah. That you saw on Sunday night. Like, that's just not, and
the Eagles are showing a lot of the rest of the NFC DCs.
Yeah.
A lot of weaknesses here. That now, like I said, crunch time, one game in, one game out.
Yep.
They can really prepare for it. So if you got a healthy defensive squad going up against the Eagles here, they're not as intimidating as they have been in the past.
No, they are not. They are not in that case whatsoever. But look, I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl, but I don't think it's completely out of the question either. The talent's there on the offensive side. It's just something's really broken there right now, and they don't have a lot of time to figure that out.
Guys aren't stepping up for them. There's key guys that aren't stepping up.
They've had some offensive line injuries too, with Johnson and others. They've had some problems in that, and that's such a backbone of what they do for their running game and other things, but they've got
to push on every play.
Can't push on every play. All right. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Rainy Monday here, the final half week of 2025. But there is a lot of things that are going to be happening at Borrelli's this week, Paulie, for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
It's the final countdown.
This is it. And Borrelli's is going to have plenty going on here for it.
All right. So it is and happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
And happy New Year's Eve and New Year's Day week to everyone as we start wrapping up the 2025 that was. So basically this week we got the two big days, New Year's Eve party down here at Borrelli's, 912 West Beach Street here in Long Beach, New York. Free admission for the New Year's Eve party here. So just come in, come out, whatever you want to do, hang out all day, hang out all night. No cover charge. And there's going to be live music with Lavish Life at 10 p.m. And it's just going to be a blast here. This place was rocking this weekend. Everybody's back in town for the holidays. So don't expect too much room in the place here for New Year's Eve. If you've still got enough energy for New Year's Day, Borrelli's will be open at 11 a.m. And there will be live music starting at 1 p.m. with Joe Gunning. So that's a good day here post New Year's Eve celebration at Borrelli's. Once again, live music with Joe Gunning at 1 p.m. and we'll be open here at 11 a.m. Billy Joel Night returns here on January 21st, Wednesday, January 21st. And on Tuesday, January 27th, Comedy Series returns here as well with Joe List. And I believe it's just one show. It's a 7 p.m. show, and there's limited tickets left. Getting very close to selling out, as do all the comedy shows here. They always sell out here at Borrelli's. You can go to Borrelli'sTaproom.com or search Borrelli's Taproom at Eventbrite.com for tickets to see Joe List on the 27th. Then we got live music this weekend, too. I just want to forgot to mention that earlier. Friday on the 2nd, Tim Quinn is going to be here at 7 p.m. And there's also live music here on Saturday with Evan Kariga and Dennis Kelly. They'll be at 7 p.m. And then DJ TM Select will be here at 10 p.m. So that's Friday and Saturday, kicking off 2026 here at Borrelli's as far as the great weekend entertainment that they always have. On Sunday, February 1st, the Sunday Sauce competition returns here at Borrelli's at on the Sunday afternoon. And if you get to win, a chance to win $500. So if you got anybody in the house that makes good Sunday sauce, get them down to Borrelli's here on Sunday, February 1st with a chance to win $500. So that's what's going on right now. And just get down here, Borrelli'sTaproom.com, great place. And you can always come down here for lunch as well, too, during the week and hang out with me and Mike, 12 p.m.
You should do that.
Rock and
A
roll.
lot of people are off the next couple of days. There's no reason why you can't come down and do that. I don't understand.
It's too cold and too rainy to go down to the beach, so let's go. Get
Not
inside
as-
Borrelli's.
Not as many dog walkers today. On the cold, rainy Monday in December
All the snow's going away.
on the island. Yeah, snow went quick, right? We got all that snow.
I
Saturday
don't
night-
mind this.
Friday night.
I don't mind this. Drop the snow and then it's gone.
And
a
then
couple
gone.
days.
Wash it
Yeah.
away. It's the best.
It's good
I don't
routine.
need it.
Kids get to have a little fun.
Hanging around out there. Yeah.
It's
Took
over.
him sledding, did the whole deal,
Yeah,
and then
man.
wash it away. Get it out of here.
Just like
Get it right on out of here because we don't need it. I certainly don't. That's for sure. All right, so we did the locals and the Great Bill Eagle game. Let me give you the rest of the best of the rest
Good weekend.
of stuff that happened. I'll start with this because this was just so gutless. So after the Ravens ran all over the Packers on Saturday night,
Oh man,
and Derrick Henry just went bonkers.
what
And wow,
a performance!
Nothing like it taking Harbaugh and Monk and years to figure out, oh, maybe we should just give Henry the ball 36 times and let him just run through everybody for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Phenomenal
Maybe that's a good
performance.
game plan to win, especially when Lamar's not playing. Maybe just give him the ball every
Yep.
time. Wow, what a concept. And sure enough, it worked. And they won that game, which kept them alive, Paulie.
Yeah, man.
And they then needed the Browns to beat the Steelers on Sunday
Either.
to make their final week game be for the division. And sure enough, the Steelers complied by losing in Cleveland
Stupid Steelers.
13-6 yesterday.
6
And
points.
there is one guy, actually, I blame for this Steeler loss. And he didn't even play in the game. That loss is on DK Metcalf for the stupidity in Detroit the week before, getting suspended because he was the guy that they needed to be out there, especially on that final drive where the Steelers were down inside the 10.
Mhm.
And Rodgers is throwing jump ball fades to Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who was on the practice squad 2 weeks ago. Those are DK Metcalf balls that he brings down 80% of the time, and he's going to score there, and it's a different game, and he cost them, I believe. Now, look, their offense was putrid. You know, they couldn't do anything against Cleveland. I'm saying there was times in that game where Metcalf was out there. He's your go-to guy, and he wasn't there for them because of his own. And look, whatever it is. Obviously, there's something going on with the fan too, and that's a whole nother story. We talked about it a little last week. End of the day is he got suspended for 2 games and he wasn't out there, and he ain't gonna be there this week either
Be
for this
something
Raven
else.
game now.
If the division just slips through their hands.
And it was right there for them, Paulie.
Yeah.
I just had to beat the Browns, and you win the division. And this game with the Ravens would have meant nothing. You wouldn't have to worry about it. Now it's the last game of the season, Sunday night
It's good for us.
for the North. And the question is, will the Ravens actually learn from what they did Saturday night and go in with that game plan against the Steelers on Sunday night and actually just give Henry the ball over and over again? Just let him pound you into the division title.
Just as an entire squad, they were so impressive in Green Bay. They just looked
Yeah.
so good, man.
Played well.
Very good game. Very good game. And just kind of
How do you lose to the Browns?
Great question.
How do you do it? Like, it's just
6 points.
it was a pathetic performance. And I mean, and they put themselves in hold. They were down 10-0 in the first couple of minutes of the game. They were losing. And that was all the Browns needed. Browns didn't need anything else after that. Gutless performance by the Steelers. Just awful.
Makes you wonder.
And Garrett said that, and Myles Garrett said that he thought they spent too much time trying to make sure he didn't get the sack record than winning the game. He thought that was more on their minds than anything else. And you know what? Maybe he's right.
How does that, I mean, where does that mentality even play when you've got so much on the line?
There's so much,
and
winning the game
and implications on how you may or may not advance in the playoffs with home field advantage and seedings. To be worried about an individual guy's record.
I couldn't believe they. And look, this is the NFL. Nothing should ever surprise you ever. I couldn't believe that
every week, buddy. Everybody's posting up conspiracy videos.
Well, there's no conspiracy. I couldn't believe they didn't show up for the game. Their offense didn't show up for the game. I just not like how? How's it possible?
It happens a lot.
And
man.
you know what? They're going to lose Sunday night too. I'm on the Ravens. I know tomorrow's when we do the who you got and what you got. I'm telling you right now, Ravens are going into Pittsburgh on Sunday night and they're beating them.
Buddy, I'm in the back seat. I'm in the back seat with you.
They're beating them, and that it would be an all-time. Look, it's a gag. I mean, they.
I want them to beat the Steelers now. After that,
Pathetic.
Show
Awful.
How do you not want that game?
And that Metcalf. Oh,
yeah. Wow.
Every single one of those fades to Valdez-Scantling would have been to Metcalf at the end of that game, down in the end zone.
Oh, well.
And he would have caught one of them because he's that good. Metcalf's a great player. And he wasn't out there for the biggest game.
Did you? I saw some. I didn't want to listen to the audio. Did you see any of the clips of the fans? He had a press conference.
This guy is, look, I understand DK Metcalf wanting to hit this guy. He's so painful, this guy. I get it. He's got to obviously, Paulie, show the restraint to not do it.
Yes.
But this guy was a total clown and he even said to the section, like, he was like, that's what I was trying to do. And he did it. Like, he went trying to get him upset and trying to get him out of his game. And he did it. And the fan's a moron. But unfortunately for DK Metcalf, he was the bigger moron because he retaliated. He went at him and he got suspended for the team's 2 biggest games of the year.
Yep.
A game that I really feel is different if he was out there yesterday, and another game that you're going to feel like, he's not going to be out there for the Raven game on Sunday night. Like, that's just,
that hurts.
It's just it's a tough way to end your year, and I got a feeling it's going to end the Steelers' year, and that really does look. It changes things. I think that there's a big difference in the AFC if it's the Ravens as opposed to the Steelers slipping through the door and being in there. I think that these wild card teams like the Bills and the Texans and the Chargers, who are going to be the wild cards, I think if you polled them, you know, what's the place you most would want to go to in the first round? I think they'd all say Pittsburgh. They'd all want to play the Steelers. And there's a good chance that if the options are Jacksonville, New England, Baltimore, I think that some would say maybe the place they would least like to go to is Baltimore. You know, that's, you know, because even though they've been bad this year and they were expected to do so much more, and Lamar's been hurt and all that. I think you watch those clips of Henry on Saturday night, and if they're actually going to call their offense that way, it's a big problem for you.
Hey,
big problem.
So you take a team like the Ravens, and it doesn't necessarily mean, okay, if you've had a tough year,
just got to get in. Everyone's 0-0. Everyone's 0-0 again.
Lamar's getting his reps in. He's looking a little confident, and if he doesn't have to push himself too much because he's got Henry.
Look,
I mean, it's kind of coming together.
He didn't play Saturday night. I'd be interested to see what happens this week with him. Obviously, this is a win and get in game. He wants to be out there. Interested to see. I don't know. I think he's a little more hurt than they're letting on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do. And I think that maybe I think they didn't play him Saturday night thinking we're going to make this a Henry game. And if we win, hopefully he's rested enough that he'll be good to go to play the Steelers next week. I think that was kind of where they're at.
It's a bang up job. They get in without him and have him ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But interesting, massive game, which we'll talk about tomorrow with the two of those. Elsewhere, Jags beat the Colts, buddy. The Colts were right there. Right there. P-Riv. Almost.
One of two games where I was tempted to throw things at the TV.
Just remember, I still covered with the
Oh,
Colts.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but well, the early in the week when we did it was 6.5, and thankfully I do play things early in the week, and because it was 4.5 yesterday at kickoff, it had gone down a couple points. So if you 4.5, no good for you, but 6.5 was a winner from early in the week, and Colts were in it the whole night, but the Jags down 10-0 early. Jags pull away. Figured it out against P-Riv, Old Man Rivers.
Absolutely.
I know you wouldn't have liked the Colts beat them. That wouldn't you wouldn't.
No, well, I mean, this is just again getting back to the
Shake it up.
conversation we had. Well,
Shake it up.
Teams with the opportunity now to take the next step,
Right.
step up, or who have played a certain way all season long and these are big games as far as positioning, division, and a Colts team that they should beat. They have to beat. They need to beat. And yes, fair play to the Colts for a great game. But way to go, Jags. They got the job done.
They got the job done. That's all you can ask right now. Did you stay up late and watch this Niner-Bear game?
Hell yeah.
It was a great game.
Woo.
It was at 42-38. That's the final. Back and forth all night with no defense optional, the whole deal.
Man.
It was great.
What is that?
Great game if you bet touchdowns and props and all those things. It was an unbelievable night for all that.
So obviously Kittle out, a couple of
that worried me
were
because we
different.
didn't know about Kittle when we talked about it last week.
But on the defensive side, man,
yeah,
look, it was a lot of fun. You love offensive games. It's great. But on the defensive side, maybe for both teams, maybe more of a concern on the Niners side.
Well, yeah, I think that's been a concern for them all year. They lost their two best defensive player. Not having Warner and Bosa is going to, this is how they got to win. And I'm impressed that their offense has gotten to this point where this is how they're going to try to win. They're just going to try to outscore you. It's a little different from some stuff they've done in the past, but they're just gripping it and ripping it right now. They're just going to try to score every single time they have the ball. And I feel like they haven't punted in weeks. I mean, their offense is just humming, and Purdy's just humming right now.
Yeah, he's in a good groove. And on the Chicago side of things, man, that was just really impressive.
Yeah.
The discussion is, are they for real? And
right.
Giving them respect and everything.
No, I think
Going
that
into
they've
barn. Again,
and they played a different kind of game.
Just fell short.
It was just it's so different from the Packer game they played the week before, right? It's just
literally 2 or 3 guys open in the end zone.
Yeah, I know. DJ Moore was standing there throwing his arms in the air, and he just the field.
That little bit of luck and magic we talked about the last few weeks.
Yeah,
it just ran out.
Well, you know what? I'd rather lose that game than it run out in a playoff game. So
yeah, but
that's fine.
Bravo, Bears, man.
And maybe we'll see that again in a few weeks. You might see Niners Bears again down the road. But it was a fun game. It was a fun game on Sunday night. They ended up with a really good one. Now the Niners because they won that game. And the Seahawks beat the Panthers 27-10 in Carolina. And we'll get to the Panthers in a moment because they're still bravo for him. First quarterback in NFL history to win 13 games in back-to-back seasons with 2 different teams. Won 14 games with the Vikings last year, and now has won 13, potentially 14 games with the Seahawks this year. And everyone thinks he sucks, which is the best part. Everyone will bet against him in the playoffs.
Well, there are 4 of the quarterbacks who
had back-to-back 13 wins. Yes, Rodgers, a few others, but he's the only one to do it with 2 different teams.
Okay, he's the only one in that group that hasn't won a ring, and I have to say I don't think he's going to win a ring.
I don't think he is either. But stranger things have happened. Trent Dilfer's won a ring. There's guys who have won rings that maybe people didn't think they were the best team. The best quarterback, Brad Johnson, won a ring. There's sometimes.
I don't think it's this year, man.
I don't think it is either. But Seahawks, Niners, Saturday night for the whole shebang, for the 1 seed, for the bye, for home field advantage, everything on the table. The winner gets it in this game.
It's a good one.
Saturday night in in Santa Clara at the
Yeah.
Niners. Don't you have to say now? We got who you got tomorrow.
Who you got tomorrow?
Who you got tomorrow? We're gonna save it for tomorrow, but you get a day to think about it. Niners and Seahawks. Saturday night. I love that it's Saturday night standalone game.
Early spread on that game yet?
Yes. Seattle -1.5. Road favorite in San Francisco.
Well, I mean, that defense.
That line, I might be on the Niners on Saturday night. I might be on the Niners. Because what you have in that game, Paulie, is the styles. Like, the Niner offense has been humming. Seattle's best unit is their defense. Their defense has played really well. Seattle's offense has not been humming. The Niner defense has not either. They just gave up 38 points last night. So you have the two good units on one side and the two struggling units on the other side. What does that lead to us in that game? It's
not an easy game to pick. It's not. And I guess, as a fan here and on the gambling side, I think too, it's a little more frustrating. But on a fan side, these are some good matchups we got to look forward to.
Really good matchups. Now there's two games on Saturday. The other game is also of high importance. It's who's going to be the team. Well, I guess if the Panthers win, they would have a winning record. They're 8-8 after losing to the Seahawks, and the Bucs lost to Flipper yesterday. So
you know how down I was on the Bucs last week.
So the Bucs are now 7-9.
Hopeless.
So the Bucs and the Panthers are going to play Saturday at 4:30. So doubleheader Saturday. Bucs, Panthers, Niners, Hawks.
I said it last week. I hate both of those teams. So you can watch it for
Someone's got to win.
Yep. I don't care.
Now there is a scenario which is kind of unlikely, and after the top of the hour, I'll bring this up to you because it involves tonight's game. There is a scenario where if the Falcons win their last two games,
don't say it.
No, well, the Panthers would win the division no matter what.
Yeah,
because it would be a three-way tie, and the Panthers win that tiebreaker, even if they lost to the Bucs on Saturday. So I think that gets, now to be fair, and we're going to talk, I think that gets wiped away because I don't think the Falcons are going to win tonight. So I don't think that scenario is even going to be in play. This is going to be the winner of the game is going to win the division, and that's that.
Yeah.
This game coming up this week.
That we don't need any more.
You don't want any more asterisks and this and that, or what could happen.
Sneaking in
the back way.
On the backs of the Atlanta Falcons.
All right, a few other things, and then we'll talk about that Ram-Falcon game in a moment. Did you like the Christmas Day triple header? Did you watch all the games on Christmas? Those awful games? Did you watch any of them?
Yeah, well, like I said, we had them on,
They were background filler.
And
background filler. That's okay. Did you see any of the Texans and Chargers on Saturday?
Of course. My Texans.
Big Texans win for you.
And incredibly disappointed
it stayed under.
The uniform choice there by the Chargers.
Oh, they went with the Damian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers uniforms.
What
they went with.
There? What are we doing?
I don't mind those.
Nah, they're awful.
You like the powder blues better and the white. And
all the time. Yeah. All the time. Don't wear anything else.
Just the powder blues. You don't have to go and pull out all these other ones.
But Texans look good. Did a good job. It was a good game. Chargers, I don't know. Any concern here?
Well, look.
Harbaugh loves his Herbert. So
I think that it really is going to be about matchups. I really do think that,
which is what we want.
I think all three of these wild card teams in the AFC are dangerous on different levels. Buffalo, the Texans, and the Chargers. They're all dangerous on different levels. But I think that they all match up differently against different teams. I mean, Houston and Jacksonville know each other so well. That's the first round matchup. They could, if Houston's got to go to New England, I don't know how good that is for them. If Buffalo's got to go to Denver, I don't know what. I think that the matchups are going to be so important in the AFC. Like, what if Denver and Chargers are going to play this week, and what Denver's trying to close up the 1 seed? Do the Chargers care about if they're 4, 5, 6, or 7? I'm not sure. Are they playing that game at all? If the Chargers they went to Jacksonville in the playoffs a few years ago and blew a 30-point lead in the game. I think matchups are what's going to determine
you're right,
the path. Because I could see any three of those teams going far and making noise if they have the right path and the right matchups. But it's hard to not be impressed by what the Texans have done now here during the stretch. They are now 11-5. They have won 8 games in a row. They started 0-3. They're 11-2 in their last 13 games. Now, they can, I believe, still win. Can they still win the division, Paulie? I have to see the Texans playoff scenarios because they're 1 game back and they don't have the division clinching X next to them yet. So let me see. Does a win and a loss? Here we go. Jaguars, Pats lose. Lots to play for. I want the Texans playoff scenarios. Texans will head into week 18 with the inside track to be the first wild card team and the 5th overall seed. I don't think that the Jacksonville has necessarily won the division yet because they don't have the little Y next to them. You notice how they got like the Z.
Mm-hmm.
The Z means that you won the division. They don't have that next to Jacksonville. That tells me there's a path here. I guess if they lost and Houston won, that they could play it. Houston's playing Indy and Jacksonville's playing the Titans this week.
Who do you think's got the tougher fight?
Listen, if Jacksonville's playing for something, they should beat the Titans. I mean, there shouldn't be any. And Jacksonville has an outside chance of being the 1 and getting a bye, so they're going full throttle. There's a lot of teams that really don't have much to play for this week, but that's a lot for Jacksonville to keep them interested against a bad Titan team. They should be able to take care of business. But if Houston wins, they're guaranteed to go to that AFC North winner.
Yeah,
Steelers, Ravens. So I would feel really good about Houston's defense against the Steelers in Pittsburgh. But they're not as good against the run as they are against the pass. If they play the Ravens, the matchups are huge. The matchups are important of what they're going to be. I still can't believe the Steelers lost to the Browns. I'm still just sitting here just looking at it going, you got to be kidding me.
Hopeless.
How do you lose that game?
Done with the Steelers.
How do you lose the game?
Done.
Other than that, Saints beat the Titans. Bengals beat the Cardinals. That was it. Those were the only really 2 games where meant absolutely nothing. There's only 2 of those. And then tonight's game, which we're going to talk about after the break.
Okay.
Rams and Falcons, the last game of week 17 and the last Monday Night Football. Not the last Monday Night Football game of the year because they now do that 1 wild card game on a Monday night. So it's actually not the last regular season Monday night game. So I forgot about that. So it's actually not the last Monday night game of the season. You get 1 playoff game on a Monday night.
All right.
Move forward.
I like it.
Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. We'll come back. Rams, Falcons, hockey from the weekend, bowls, hoops, a few other things before we get out of here. We're back from
some World Juniors maybe too.
Hey, have you been watching?
I've been keeping an eye on the U.S. squad and hoping the Canadian team loses. Hasn't worked out yet. But
well, it's U.S. got them last year. They'll get them again. So
it's going to heat up here over the next couple of days.
All right, we're back. Go Sports Radio right after this. And we are back. Carver and Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio from Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach on the island. Rainy Monday. Programming note, of course, we are here Monday, Tuesday this week. Not the usual Wednesday, Thursday. Next week, we will be back to the normal Wednesday, Thursday schedule going forward for all of that. So just
2026.
and it'll be 2026 when we come back too, which is always a fun thing for us. All right, Paulie, a few things to do before we go. First, the last game of Week 17 is tonight, and it is the Rams and the Falcons in Atlanta. So I'll give you what's on the table here for the Rams. If the Rams win their last two games, they cannot win the division anymore. They cannot be the 1 seed. They're going on the road no matter what. But I think this is significant. If they win their last two games, they would play wild card weekend at whoever comes out of the Carolina-Tampa mess, as opposed to losing one of their two games and having to go to, say, Philadelphia or Chicago or one of these other places. So I think, Paulie, that is significant enough that you will see the Rams full go tonight and on Sunday to make sure that because I'd want to go to one of those places as opposed to Philly or Chicago.
Who wants to play in the cold, man? Especially when you're
right.
a West Coast team. So
right. And it's just the the Bucks. These teams have been.
The Rams,
the Rams lost to Carolina in Carolina, but I don't think that would happen twice. I think that's.
It'll be interesting to see how the Rams come out and play. They've got a couple of things they've got to tweak.
Yeah,
they've had some issues here.
Look, Adams is still out. They're missing Adams, which and I don't mind that. I think that the best thing for Adams is to be playing wild card. It's to be playing the first playoff game. I don't think that they need Adams to win these last two games. I don't think they need to rush Adams. So I'm fine with that. The Falcons stink. I think that McVay makes this a very businesslike. We have a job to do tonight. We got to win this game. And
keep the foot and the throttle down on them.
Right.
So that's what burned them the last game.
Yeah.
You gotta finish teams out.
Yep.
And just
a lot of extra rest
early
for the Rams here too. A lot of extra rest. Playing Thursday to Monday is a ton of rest for them. They should be in really good spot here.
Pour it on.
Yeah.
And then get out of Dodge, rested and ready to go.
Yeah. It's Rams for me. And look, the lines, it's a touchdown they're laying. I feel comfortable that they can win this game by 10+ points tonight, Paulie. I really do. The Falcons really haven't given. And look, they've won a couple games here the last few weeks.
So I did want to ask you what does the future hold here for the Atlanta Falcons? Or is that
look,
is that a ways away?
I know that they think they have their guy in Penix. I don't believe that. I'm not the biggest Penix fan. I think that Morris is an awful head coach. I think he's a great coordinator. This is the second crack he's had at being a head coach. He stinks. He's an awful in-game decision maker. He's not that. Just I think that they should send him home after this season. I really do. This is a year that they had really high expectations. Yes, they had some injuries. I'm not gonna. Every team has them. They traded they don't even have their first round pick this year. They traded to the Rams in the draft last year. So, this is another reason for the Rams to beat them tonight. They have their pick. You want them further down the board. So even more motivation for the Rams tonight in this game to make sure Atlanta gets another loss. So I think that the Falcons are once again, they're kind of one of those teams that they've kind of been living in that mediocrity too, Paulie, for a very long time. Not in the low level, Jet, Giant, Brown.
Had a few good teams here in recent years, but just couldn't close the deal.
You'll have Cousins tonight, of course, playing. Look, could the Falcons score some points tonight? Maybe, but I just think that there's too much in the Rams' corner here tonight, whether that's extra rest, motivation, all of those things. It's there. And look, when good teams have played the Falcons, like really good teams, the Seahawks came in here a couple of weeks ago and they beat them 37-9 in Atlanta. Same spot like the Rams are going. Like you pound this team.
What's the spread going on tonight?
7.
Okay.
7.5. It was down from 8.5. It's down to 7.5. I think that this is a well-motivated Rams squad here, and they should take care of business tonight.
Agree.
I feel good about it. So that would finish off this week.
Crazy.
Tonight's Monday Night Football game.
Crazy NFL weekend.
Crazy NFL weekend for us. Hockey now. Isles Rangers Saturday. It was quite a game. Isles scored very early, put the pressure on the Rangers, who have a problem scoring goals, put the pressure on them early. And then just a hell of a performance by Riddick for the Isles. They tried. They gave the Rangers 1 billion power plays late in the third period. Gave them a penalty shot, power plays. They gave them everything, and they just couldn't find it. Couldn't find it. An awful penalty shot call too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Awful
Susie
penalty
gets it.
shot.
You know, I'm sitting there watching that. You know, you're sitting there going, as a Ranger fan, no, but if that's like, you know, game 5 in a series or something like that,
Yeah.
and that's your guy, you know,
Right.
and it was just, it's a shame. You know, granted, you know, every team, the rosters get, you know, that's just the luck of the draw. He's the guy who got the call. He's the guy who takes the shot. And that's the guy.
I think Sullivan
And
was upset it was a penalty shot too. He wanted the power play.
Yeah,
because he saw who was going to take it.
And I don't really think it should have been a penalty shot.
It shouldn't have been. It was an awful call.
No. Look, nothing's really changed on the Rangers side for me. Look, obviously Miller's out. Obviously Foxy's out. There's not a lot to really get excited about. This team, Shesterkin is still having his problems.
Well,
I wish I had
know
more for you.
I know
okay?
we do this every week, but like you'd say all that and it sounds very doom and gloom, but
no.
I'm going to tell you that if they win tonight, they're 1 point out of third in the Metro.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
It's not that it's doom and gloom. I think it's a purgatory kind of thing where there's nothing really to get too overly angry about, and there's nothing really to get too excited about, you know, as far as the Rangers concerned.
Right.
So they do have some injuries. I think the alarming thing is that, look, I'll give Panarin a lot of credit the other night. He played his ass off, but he just didn't get any reward for it. And unfortunately for me, those games from Panarin are few and far between. And there's just not a really good, strong support cast of guys on this team. And you've got young guys that are thrown into the mix here. And the defense is inconsistent. And it's, like I said, it's missing a big key guy back there. And Shesterkin and Quick, for the most part, you know, just haven't been the guys who can really steal him a game here. So, and with all that said, because of the way the league is structured, because of the way the division is, because of the way the conference is, and again, you can go right back to win tonight. You're back in the swing. You're in the mix still. The Islanders played a pretty good game at home. They've been playing very well themselves, and they go into Columbus last night and they lose.
Yeah, and I think what you saw last night was,
and they're missing their top keeper.
Right. They're missing their top keeper. It's hard to ask Riddick to every night go and
he's doing a hell of a job.
And he's doing a hell of a job. I also thought last night was the prime example of you needed to jump on that team early, which they kind of, you know, they played well in the first 2 periods, but you were a team on the second night of a back-to-back against a team that hadn't played for a week. That was Columbus's first game out of the break. And, you know, I was on with Shawnee yesterday. I was kind of talking with him about this on Hockey Night in New York, and I was saying that, you know,
one of the best places to tune in for Icelanders nonsense.
For Icelander talk. And I was saying to him that this is tough because by the third period, you know, the Islanders are going to be feeling it, and Columbus is probably just then going to start to get themselves going because they've been out for a week. And I've thought the first 2 periods were so key for the Islanders in that game. And sure enough, what happened late in the third period? Columbus ties it. Columbus wins it. You know, that's just, you know, how it kind of fell for them. And Riddick had one that you want to give back. There's no doubt about that. But
and on the bad side of the loss, which is a good thing, and grateful that Schaefer's not injured.
Well, that's another thing. You know, guys been taking runs at him lately.
But there's 2 things that I liked from the outside.
Yeah.
As being a Rangers fan. Barzell stepping up.
Oh, yeah.
And number 2, his coach backing him up.
Yeah.
So that's good. And, you know, it's still early in the season. Now, I brought this up to beginning of the season, right? Schaefer came out of the gate. Great. He's a great young kid. He's doing well.
Yeah.
But how is he and how is the team going to react? Because you know he's going to get run.
Right.
It's going to happen.
And it's starting to.
Nobody's going to, you know.
Starting to happen.
It's a great little start. It's a great story and everything else. But as this season progresses, you know, guys in the NHL, and I joke online all the time, your beloved NHLPA, how they go out and they kill each other out there. they go out to hurt each other. They're gonna hurt each other. And everybody is game in the league. Whether you're McDavid, down to guys like Schaefer, everybody's fair game. And you got to keep your head up and you got to watch it. And the best thing you can do as an organization, as a team, is when it does happen, that you step up for each other and take care of it. I think that was a good thing from the Islanders last night. That's not happening on Broadway. That is not happening. It's a totally different thing. So I like what the Islanders are showing.
There's not a togetherness within the group, is what you're saying.
No, I mean, and even Rempe back in the lineup, and
I was thinking about him. Let me ask you a question. Why put him in the lineup if you're not going to let him do what he's good at? And what is he good at, Paulie? Being an agitator, getting into fights, giving people the business. If you don't want him doing that stuff, right? And there's kind of been, since he first came up and was fighting everybody and was getting big, there's been this obviously decree from the top that we don't really want you doing that stuff unless it's completely necessary. So why play him if you don't want to have him do what he's best at?
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, because I think the league as a whole portrays this image like they don't want the fighting. They don't want all the chaos, but they do. It's gladiator stuff. They love the, are you entertained? Most of the biggest highlights in the night when two guys drop. And to me, it's so dumb, me with the face shields and stuff.
Right.
Two guys punching each other with bare knuckles. It's just the most stupid, dumb thing in the world. And I'm an old
time
hockey guy. I grew up watching the late 70s and early 80s and the rough 90s and everything else. But to see two guys going at it. So with Rempe, who his skill set is good in this stupid term that they use now, net front presence. Makes you want to throw up.
That's the charts and graphs thing.
But,
front presence.
I guess this is the thing. Laviolette trying to figure out how to use this kid. Sully now trying to figure out how to use his kid. I know what you're saying here as far as what are his strengths. But the Rangers right now can't score. So now they need to they're having enough problem with Lafreniere putting pucks in the net. And I guess they don't necessarily, I think they just don't necessarily know what to do. So, and the Rangers might not be in the situation where they were a season ago, maybe 2 seasons ago, where they had enough balance to let Rempe go out and disrupt the other team, take a penalty or two, knock off the team on their edge, because that's how he is. Because they don't have the offensive strength to back they don't have that balance.
Least amount of goals scored.
They're
in the
not
Eastern
taking
Conference.
advantage of the power plays. They don't have the offensive side of it to balance that out. And they are weaker defensively. And I don't care what anybody says. That's my other joke too. A couple of years ago, Ranger fans are shouting Shesty's better when Vasilevsky's in the nets for the Bolts. Well, Shesty still isn't better.
No.
He's not better. So the Rangers have a big problem here in a league where it's okay to have big problems.
Because everybody's in it.
You're in the mix.
Everybody's in it.
They're not the only squad that's dealing with this.
They're not. Now,
it's just magnified for us, obviously, being Ranger fans.
This matchup tonight, this place is usually a bit of a house of horrors for them, although they did win their last time they were there. They did win in Raleigh in early November.
Yes, but they have a different lineup going into this building.
This is not the same team as early November.
The Rangers are kind of weak right now. And even a couple of the wins that they've snagged, the overtime wins with JT Miller, grabbing the points here or whatever. Yeah, they had a 7 spot there about a week or so ago too. It's too random, or it's actually too of the norm of the NHL right now too. Yeah. The Red Wings are going through this. They look good. You can go on the West Coast and go up and down in the division. We can sit here, and a lot of the teams, besides the top 3 or 4 that we talk about, the same kind of parity. The Caps now are starting to look, very beatable. It's
everybody. Everybody
season.
has their. It's too long of it, and there's ups and downs for every team. And there's just you need to got to really put the points up when you're going through those good. But
there's definitely an anger within the Rangers fan base here. It's this whole jury thing. Them just
I want him out. I mean, he's he hasn't done a good enough job.
They have yet to put up. Their record within the last 10 is okay, but like I said, can you go and win 6-7 straight? They can't even take advantage of power plays. They're getting they were outshot. They had like no shots in their game the other night. I can't remember which one it was. So there's just not a lot really going on. So they
got the big stage Friday night down in Miami. Get ready.
and that's what it will be.
Big stage.
they posted Shesty's got his new digs for the Winter Classic, and I was like, well, does it stop pucks? Looks good. So, and Florida, I think they win that game. Well,
Look, those games are always a little weird because.
Well, they had to put it in a weird place to hopefully get some ratings.
Yeah, look, that's always a tricky game, that Winter Classic. And now you're in a kind of indoors Winter Classic with just windows open along the side. And they do have a roof there at Marlins
There's
Park.
a college football championship.
They're going to play.
Come on, this is.
It's a little bit different.
I say the ratings are under 1 million. I said they're under 1 million.
Friday night, there's no college football playoff that night. There's a bowl game on, but not an important one. There's no NFL. Man, and they're doing it at night too, which is a strange thing. It's usually an afternoon thing, the Winter Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And they're able to do that because, like I said, they're playing in an indoor. I got to tell you, you might be right. I've felt for years that they've lost the cachet with the Winter Classic, that they've lost the luster, that they've oversaturated it with those other games that they play outdoors in February and all. And they used to January 1st at noon. It was that was always where they were. And they've bounced the time around a lot. And
it's a great home game for the Panthers. It's great for their fan base.
Yeah,
it's
great. They never get anything like this.
It's great for the and also they're 3 finals in a row.
Right, they deserve
cups.
it. I don't disagree with that.
And they're a good team.
It's a weird place to play.
The Rangers are just not exciting.
They need to find something.
They don't have the talent level. I think I just don't. I don't see the buzz. Rangers games in the past playing in this Winter Classic.
They've had a lot of success in this game.
Yes, I just don't know.
They
they
played Buffalo at Citi Field. They played the Flyers in Philly. They've won some of these games.
Better teams, more exciting teams back then.
Okay.
Better line.
Look, I think it's Florida too. I mean, I'd be betting on Florida on Friday night. But I think that the diehards will want to just tune in, even if it's for a few minutes, just to see what it looks like being there in Miami.
I mean, you're going to get that general.
But
there's going to be a regional tune in. There's no doubt about that.
They used to be able to pull in the fair-weather sports fan, not hockey fan. The fair-weather sports fan used to tune in to the Winter Classic. That would be an NHL game that maybe not the regular NHL watcher would throw on New Year's Day, especially They had the snow globe with Sid and the Sabres the first time, and I think that really attracted people. And then they played in some really historic places, Fenway Park,
big house,
and
big, Detroit and Toronto.
And they've it's hard to recreate those things, doing them a second time or finding, once you run through the couple historic places.
Yeah, well, you know what? The ones that work, I think the ones that work, I think you should rotate those games back in every 5 years. Have a game at the big house every 5 years.
That's fine.
Have that game up in Buffalo again. I mean, the fans.
I actually would have did one there again this year, being the last year of that place. I would have had one more in Buffalo. But the problem with them is that they haven't made the playoffs in 20 years, and it's hard to put them in that game. That's the hard part about it. They and the year they played the Rangers, there wasn't Eichel on the team. At least when they had Eichel, it was kind of.
But bro, you put Buffalo. Let's say they put a.
Oh,
listen, and even if
few cities have bigger hockey ratings than Buffalo. Buffalo people watch, even though the team sucks, they're there for the team.
Well, they're
there for national
ratings,
events.
TV ratings, throw that aside.
National events too.
Yeah, TV ratings, forget about. But as far as selling out a football stadium, that would happen up there, And if you put any of the the Northeast Canadian teams in there, that's a home run. But you know what? We've been, as NHL fans, very confused as to how they market and show their sport. So, don't expect anything exciting except a night game in Florida against a, Florida team and Florida teams that, again, I can't get that excited about it, Mike.
Okay.
And I'm a diehard hockey fan. So how's the average hockey fan? Or the outside or the not average hockey fan getting interested in this matchup over the fact that again that this has been done already, that it's outside.
Well,
It's in Florida.
I
It's gonna be a
understand.
little warm.
How
are they going to keep the ice warm?
And the Stadium Series game next month is at the Pirate Ship in Tampa with the Bruins and the Lightning. So they're playing both games in Florida, both the outdoor games this year.
Does that game outside of it? Does that move you?
No,
doesn't move.
Doesn't.
And we're hockey fans.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's not exciting.
So how is a sport? Again, it's regional. Is it great? Is it great for the Lightning and?
Well,
Bruins fans that probably a lot of people.
If I can't get you interested in that, can I get you interested in the Birmingham Bowl later this afternoon between Georgia Southern and Appalachian State? Does that move you? Birmingham Bowl.
I got some reruns to catch up on.
Did you watch any of the Pinstripe Bowl on Saturday?
I did. That was the only game I had on.
Penn State,
you know
Clemson.
why? Because I just loved seeing Yankee Stadium in the background. Get me a little.
It was cool.
Excited for baseball season.
Cool.
And the greatest baseball team in the world, the New York Yankees.
Oh yeah,
baby.
No doubt about that. That'll get you going.
With the greatest front office in the world.
Oh, they're doing a great job.
There's so many memes.
Great job
of Hal and Cashman sleeping on a couch during the hot stove season. It's awesome.
I mean, they had the other day. The Pirates signed somebody like Ryan O'Hearn. Even the Marlins signed Fairbanks, the closer from the Rays. Like the Marlins and Pirates have done more this offseason than the Yankees.
We're ready, man. We don't need anybody. We don't need anybody.
Oh my God. All right. So no Birmingham Bowl for you today. There are 3 games tomorrow. The Independence Bowl, the Music City Bowl, always a favorite. Tennessee and Illinois, and the Alamo Bowl. Where do you think they have that? The Alamo Bowl. That's San Antonio down there. USC and TCU at the Alamo. They play right there at the Alamo.
Whose ball are they playing that?
That's at the Alamo Dome down in the Riverwalk. So it's the off-used Alamo Dome. They doesn't get used very often. UTSA.
Kind of like Coliseum up here, huh?
It is kind of like that. It's doesn't get as much use. The Alamo Dome. UTSA plays home games there. The Roadrunners, beep, beep. They do play there from time to time. But tomorrow, we will also lock in on the college football playoff games.
Almost here.
So you have Miami, Ohio State on Wednesday night, New Year's Eve, and then the triple header on Thursday, New Year's Day.
Let's go.
And I think that dogs will be barking in these games. I really do. I think the dogs will be barking in a few of them. Especially Miami on Wednesday night. I kind of think Miami's going to give Ohio State a bit of a game. Maybe not win it.
Adrenaline will be running. It'll be flowing. Imagine being a kid now, suiting up for these games. What an experience.
This is what you play for. See, the dog walkers are out a little bit today. A couple, even in the pouring rain, the dog walkers
Clouds are
come
dissipating a little bit out there.
Is it going to snow again then in 2 days? Is that the rain, snow?
I don't know. We're Northeasterners. We'll get through it,
So we'll run through who you got with the college football playoff.
And back to Puck, like I said. The juniors are on.
Oh, and now I will admit, I have not watched any of it yet.
It's okay. It's the first couple.
I have a few things. It takes me a little while.
These are the
I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a great event. I like tuning in when USA's in the semis and in the final. I can't get as wrapped up in it as a lot of people claim that they are. I think it's awesome, but I also think it's a little crazy. Like everybody all of a sudden knows who there's a big junior hockey fan and that's cool. For a week and a half every year, everybody's a big junior hockey fan and they get involved in all this stuff. And there's a lot of prospects in it. The guys that have been drafted. There's a lot of Islander guys in it, a lot of Ranger guys in it.
Tell you what, it's good hockey, and it's gotten better over the last 10 years.
It has, and I loved watching last year. USA in the final.
It's not just USA and Canada. Finland's got a fantastic squad. Czech's got a great squad,
and especially when I'm so geared up for the Olympics, which is very close as well. So,
and I get it. And war is horrible. I get it. Not having the Russian players,
right,
who get paid.
Right.
To play in the NHL.
Right.
And all the other leagues, the Canadian leagues, the junior leagues, the ECHL, they're on strike right now, whatever. But all the other tiers, the KHL and everything else.
Why can't they? Didn't they used to do gave him like a different flag?
See, in the 4 nations, I could have I would have liked to have seen them make it like a European team or something like that.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, look, on the political side of it, we all understand it. We get it.
Yes, of course.
But when you look at all the countries,
Well, there's a lot of time. I mean,
and not seeing all these great
there's a lot of great Russian players. There's a ton of great
and
Russian
think of the
players.
great Russian players are playing in the NHL, which will not get a chance to play in the Olympics.
No, I mean, this would have been probably the last chance for Ovechkin to play in one more. You know, this would have been, you know, sure.
I mean, it goes
well, I don't
on
know,
and
you
on.
know, between
Kucherov. I mean, you go on and on about the amazing Russian talent that is playing in the league, and to not get to see them on the world stage. I mean, I get it.
You get
I
it.
understand why. But
you
if
know.
they're allowed to play and get paid in the NHL, explain to me why the players can't be accepted to play in an international aspect.
IOC stuff is way off of my radar. That's
It's something
another
it's
semi-corrupt
out of our pay grade.
organization that I couldn't be able to explain to you anything that goes
But
on.
anyway,
with them.
the better matchups are going to start happening right now. Right now,
Okay.
you have the
Well,
top. You have the
I'm
top
in.
teams are playing like Latvia, who gave
I'm
Canada
in
a
at
good
the
run
end.
other night, but got crushed by
But
Finland
I'm
last
not
night.
one of these people that could sit around and watch the group stage of the World Juniors. I just
Understand.
I
Understand.
and I'm maybe in a little different spot because with work and everything, I'm focused on a lot of things every day and a lot of different sports and a lot of it. And that it's hard for me to carve out time for the World Juniors unless they get to the semis and the finals. That's when
that's
start
the semis and the finals. Look, it's exciting stuff. It is in the States this year. It's in Minnesota.
Yeah, St. Paul.
There is talk about the attendance hasn't been that
which
great
is a
yet.
great arena.
Yes.
The XL, or if it's still called the XL.
But it doesn't matter. Once you get to the finals here in semis, that's it's gonna happen. Hey, look, there's great young prospects. Some great young prospects have come out of this tournament. Especially in the USA. The United States hockey program has improved tenfold in the last 10, 15 years.
They have.
And it's great to watch. So go USA.
Go USA. Why not? No suspension, by the way, for Barzell.
Good.
After last night, they thought there would be a little bit of a league review with that Barzell play, but
they let a lot of things go in the NHL. So
I think they threw him a pretty good amount.
There's
of
really
time
no
out
need
of
for
it
the
last
player
night
safety
as well.
department.
He missed a lot of the game. They threw him the misconduct.
So
that was time served.
Time served indeed
for Matthew Barzell. All right, tomorrow, big show on a Tuesday here from Borrelli's. We will go through all the NFL for next week, which is, like we already mentioned, 2 big games on Saturday, and then huge Sunday night game with the Ravens and Steelers and a few other things during the day. We have all the college football playoff to go through for Wednesday night and Thursday, the triple header. The Islanders are in Chicago tomorrow night against the Blackhawks. We'll see how the Rangers do with the Canes tonight. The Knicks are back in action. We always never get to throw the Knicks.
Look, folks, we are definitely going to go Knicks heavy here soon.
I know.
We got a lot of football to get through here, but me and Mike are definitely admiring how the Knicks are playing here. It's good stuff.
Yes, and we will get to all that as well. Knicks, I know there's a lot of tickets, not a lot of tickets, but tickets. I got the email about the tickets for the Hawk game Friday night at the Garden if you want to go. Knicks Hawks Friday night at MSG. Good seats available on all the sites. All right, Paulie, great job as always. We'll be back tomorrow. Carver, Cuthbert, Go Sports Radio, Borrelli's Taproom in Long Beach. We'll see you tomorrow.